And hello, It fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing my thoughts and review for last night's episode of It. Welcome to Derry, episode 7. And guys, we gotta talk about this. If you have not seen episode 7, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. I cannot address how much spoilers I'm gonna be talking about here because stuff went down last night. And I finally watched it. I watched it last night, and like my jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe what I saw. I'm like, why? So many questions. So many questions. And then still gives me more questions to answer to try to figure out hopefully there's any answers. Like, and again, if you guys been following me watching my reviews for this, and I appreciate it, thank you very much. I have never read the books, so I don't know what the heck is going on. You know, if it's actually tied into the book, if it's connected in some weird way, because they're doing things in here that question the It franchise overall, and it is just awesome. So let's talk about it. So we all know from last week's episode where, well, not obviously not since it's the new week, happy Monday. Episode 6, the townsfolk, they were like, yeah, we gotta go after the movie theater guy. We want him, bring him in, kill him, whatever, just bring him in. Of course, military, they're throwing their party, they're at the little hangout, they're chilling, they're dancing, they're hanging out. Richie's playing the drums, the kids are there as well. You have Richie, Will, and Margaret, they're all there hanging out. And of course, Ronnie, they're all chilling there because Ronnie wants to see her father. And of course, the town folks who really want to catch the movie theater guy, they go there, masks on, guns are blazing, they got their weapons. They go there thinking that they're going to make these African Americans hand over another one. Which, by the way, they are the freaking military. So, little townsfolk with their little poo-poo guns, poo-poo weapons against the military, yeah, good luck with that. I don't know why either they were drinking at the bar too much, and then they were like, yeah, let's go catch this guy ourselves because the cops ain't doing anything. Let's go catch him ourselves. And he's hanging out with the military. The literal military. I mean, listen. I was a part of a mob. I'm not going after the military. There's no way. So cops are one thing, but it's like military. Either way. So they show up. They showing off their the weapons. Military draws their weapons, obviously. They're just trying to have a good time, trying to have a vibe, trying to, kind of like a speakeasy kind of a place. They're trying to just chill and have a good time with the music, and the kids are there too. So, and then of course the town folks, they're like, you know what, we don't want smoke. They back off, and then of course they do what a lot of racists back then would have done: board up the house or the little clubhouse that they have, and light it on fire. And seeing that was like, wow. And then they start shooting. Everybody's shooting from every direction. People getting shot and killed in there while the fire is blazing. You have Will, Rich, Margaret, and Ronnie all just like what the heck is go. Dick, he ended up taking Rich, Margaret, and not Margaret, sorry, Rich and Ronnie out of there. They escape with Ronnie's father, who is the guy from the movie theater. They all leave, and then of course poor Rich and Lily are poor Rich and Margaret left behind. Lily wasn't there, so she was at home obviously. And then Rich decides to do a Jack Dawson sacrifice. He puts Margaret in, like, I guess, a refrigerator. I couldn't really tell what it really was because it was kind of like, the fire and all that. So I would assume it was the refrigerator because there's a scene where some of the guys are trying to move the refrigerator. So they move the refrigerator so they can make an escape hatch on the ground so people can get out of there. So Rich decides, let's put Margaret in there. I'm going to close it. I'm going to cover you because he loves her. And the emotion that you see in that, I was like, wow, Rich is the man. Why kill him now? And then, he was talking about the first day he met her and how Margaret was like wearing this pretty dress. And she's like, why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. And he that stuck in his mind for so long. And he's like, he had no answer to respond to that. And then Margaret's like, oh, I love you. He goes, I love you too. And then, there, done. And then, of course, we see Pennywise outside when one of the guys who threw the, I guess the bottle with the I guess with the, what do you call it, cocktail, they throw it and it becomes a fire. He had car trouble, obviously, because, why not? They needed some poor sap to get killed by Pennywise. He's outside, and then of course he sees Pennywise's daughter show up dressed as a clown, because we got a flashback in the beginning of it, seeing Pennywise as a normal dude, as a clown, and his daughter's just trying to be like, look, Daddy, I can be a clown too, just like how Mommy was. And apparently her name was like Periwinkle or something like that. Anyway, she shows up, looks at him, and then turns around, and then Pennywise takes a cleaver and cuts him like right in half. Thought that was pretty cool. We also get to see Pennywise inside the fire as well. He's got people behind him. He's actually eating people inside the fire, which is adults he's eating, not children. So I was like, that's kind of interesting, because I think I could be wrong. I know in the book maybe he has, but I'm pretty sure in the movies he's only eaten one person, one adult in the movie. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. But either way, that I thought that scene was cool. And then of course, Pennywise decides to hypnotize his own daughter in a way by opening his mouth and see the three dots, which is really the entity that this thing is. And she gets paralyzed, and then from there, he's like, "Oh yeah, now I can go to sleep. I've done my killing. I can go take myself a nap for 27 years." And then it gets complicated from there. Then we see the whole military. They're still looking for the pillars, obviously, because they want to weaponize it. Will's dad is like, "Yeah, I don't think we should be doing this anymore. I think this is a bad idea." The military ends up finding the pillars. Not only they find it, they find one of the big chunks of it. So it kind of reminds me of like, okay, so basically this prison that Pennywise is in, so he doesn't spread. It's kind of like Jenga. You stack up Jenga, all the little bricks, and then if you take out one at a certain angle or a certain spot, it wobbles, and then if you take out another one, it can fall off, and then game over. So I feel like it's kind of like that, where they end up finding one. It's a big chunk of it. They take it out, and now Pennywise can escape again, even if he's supposed to be sleeping for 27 years. He's now able to be like, wait, why am I not sleeping? Because he ends up seeing that he's like in the ground, hunched over, looking like he's about to go to sleep. And he's like wondering about something. He either he senses that the pillars are gone, or one of the pillars is, loose enough for him to escape again and be able to do his thing without any repercussions, or something. I found that very odd and weird at the same time, so I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, we also see Lily here finding out that Rich passed on. So, there's that. So they all go cover her as well. The town folks think it was an electrical fire that causing movie theater guys death, so the town could be at ease. Obviously, either the military covered that up, or the other guys, the mobs, who was the one who did that, covered it up. One or the other. Pretty sure it was the military, because they don't want people snooping around what they're actually doing there. So overall, I thought that was a pretty cool thing. The whole episode was great, because we've seen Pennywise go up against kids in the movies, and their bond is their strength. And seeing Pennywise here just pick apart their friendship in a way, and these kids are brand new. These kids are like, they just met. They're really not exactly super friends, but when they came together, they were friends. And then he started picking up them one at a time, and I feel like their strength is starting to demeanor. So I don't think it looks good for the last episode for these kids. I think these kids are all gonna bite it, bite the dust in a way, because I don't know. I feel like with when Pennywise fought the Losers Club, their strength beat him, and he tried to take them all out, but he couldn't, because they were all together as a team and as a unit, and he couldn't beat them. And then 27 years later, he gets one of them, and they still beat him. So, I mean, I don't know if it's going to work here, where they took out Rich, and now the rest of them are going to be even stronger to take him out, or he's going to take them all out. So, I'm not 100% sure on that, but it sounds to me like that's what's probably going to happen. One or the other. Also, my only like really big, negative slash question about the final episode is that, okay, if these things are not working out, these pillars or whatever, and Pennywise can do his thing again, how come the town does not know about this whole thing? I never understood that. I mean, do they get their memories wiped away? Do the military tells them, so hey, whatever what just happened in this town, you're gonna have to keep quiet and never talk about it again. And that's why the town is so kind of odd, weird in the movies. Or does that turtle actually show up and erase their minds completely? I'm just curious about that. But either way, this episode was crazy. I mean, poor Rich, he had to die. I couldn't believe it. The way he sacrificed himself for her, Margaret was great. And honestly, now that we've spent a little bit more time with Margaret, I really like her now, because when we first met Margaret, I was like, why is she acting such a bully to Lily? She's just trying to fit in with the popular kids. And she realizes that Lily's her best friend and she belongs on her side, the loser's side, if you will. And she's grown on me as a character, especially with her badass scar that she has with the eye. Totally makes her a cool character now. So hopefully she doesn't bite it at the end. Obviously, Lily is the MVP of the entire show. But last night's episode, Richie was the MVP of that episode, because he was just, and he wasn't panicking. He wasn't complaining. He just like took charge, and then he took Lily. He put her in that little box, and he's like, "I got you." So true MVP for that episode, and yeah, and now the military, you know, they have unleashed something that they probably can't even stop, and now we're gonna have to watch them all suffer. So there you go. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Welcome to Derry episode 7. Did you guys enjoy it? How did you guys feel about Richie's death? What do you think's gonna happen now that Pennywise can continue his rampage? Because literally, he's supposed to be going to sleep now. He's supposed to go to sleep. Even the Native Americans are like, yeah, we'll see you guys in 28, 27 years. So now that he can come out and play again, what do you think the repercussions are going to be about? Whatever it is, leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much. And have a good night. I mean, good day. Sorry. Good day. Like, my bad.